Okay guys, we're going to take a look at the PEV actuator. Some questions came in about how this thing is set up. We're also going to cover in the next video how that PBM, the part per backup module, will function. So getting started, what we have here is the actuator already mounted to the valve itself. The mounting process is fairly straightforward. Just follow the instructions in the included quick start guide. Simplified version is you're going to put some of this lubricant on the O-ring. Make sure the actuator is fully seated, push all the way down, and you tighten your set screws. So from there you have to hook it up with the supplied cable. Again, this is in the box, in the actuator box. You want to hook that up to your power supply. And it just so happens I have one here. So we're going to turn it around. We'll take a look at the two connections. The one that comes plugged is for your backup module. We're not going to use that just yet. The one that's open is the typical power as well as your 4 to 20 milliamp input signal. So we're going to hook up our pre-made cable here. Turn it around so we can see the display and see what happens when we turn it on. So out of the box, you are going to get an alarm. There's nothing to be alarmed about. It's just the A01 alarm is there to tell you that your actuator is not yet configured to your valve. So we're going to have different size valves using the same actuator. So we want to make sure we get all the programming set straight. So the process to get rid of this alarm and enter into normal operation is relatively simple. You just use these three buttons at the top. You have your enter key, up and down arrows. So first thing, you press enter. You are now into level 1 parameters, and parameter 1 is for the valve size selection. So we're in the right parameter already, so we're going to go ahead and push enter again. You can see there's a 101 with 2 dots. That means we're in a level 2 parameter. And if you go ahead and select that to change it, it's going to give you this prompt to enter your password. So the valve size isn't something we want people really messing around with, so we have this password protection. So all you have to do is cycle up to the default, which is 5. You push enter. You will now see that you have 3 decimal points showing up that show you that you are indeed password enabled and in that level 2 parameter set. So then what we want to do is scroll up from a 101, which is nothing undefined, to a 102, which is the 1-inch valve size, which is what we have shown here today. And then you push enter. When you push enter, it's going to immediately enter into a calibrate mode. So what just happened is the actuator calibrated itself. It drove itself all the way closed. The actuator drove the valve body to a fully closed position. And then it responded to the active 4 to 20 milliamp signal that I have here. I'm just playing around with it, varying that via a simple potentiometer. So with that simple setup, what you've done is you've programmed the actuator to the valve body type. You've calibrated the two, and you're essentially ready for basic operation. So now the valve will respond to a 4 to 20 milliamp input signal. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Again, everything that's shown here is included. What you'll have to do is supply it with 24 volts and that 4 to 20 milliamp input signal. That's all we're doing here today, and you can see it's a fully functional unit.